Top 10 Most Scariest Ghost Encounters. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Chuchi. Look, we've got a spooky one today, a real humdinger. We're talking about the top 10 most spine-chilling, bone-rattling ghost encounters ever. So buckle up, maybe grab a nightlight because we're diving headfirst into the unknown. We're talking full-on apparitions, disembodied voices, the whole shebang. These stories, my friends, are not for the faint of heart. But hey, that's why we're here, right? To confront the unexplained, to stare fear in the face and say, bring it on. So let's get this show on the road. Let's get into it. All right, kicking off our list at number 10, we have the Amityville Horror. Picture this, a seemingly idyllic Long Island home, but behind its charming facade lies a sinister secret. In 1974, the Lutz family moved in, unaware of the horrific mass murder that had taken place within its walls just a year prior. From the moment they stepped inside, things were off. Cold spots, foul odors, and an overwhelming sense of dread permeated the house. The Lutz family claimed to have witnessed doors slamming shut on their own, furniture moving, and even green slime oozing from the walls. One of the most chilling accounts was that of the youngest daughter, Missy, who befriended an unseen entity named Jody, a demonic pig-like creature. The family's experiences culminated in a terrifying night where they fled the house, leaving behind their belongings and sanity in equal measure. The Amityville Horror remains one of the most highly debated paranormal cases in history. Was it a genuine haunting or an elaborate hoax? I'll let you be the judge. But one thing's for sure, the thought of spending a night in that house makes my skin crawl. Now let's hop across the pond to Enfield, London, where we encounter our next terrifying tale, the Enfield poltergeist. This case, documented in the late 70s, centered around the Hodgson family, particularly 11-year-old Janet, who became the primary target of the poltergeist's wrath. Imagine being a kid just trying to live your life when suddenly furniture starts flying across the room, disembodied voices whisper your name, and you find yourself levitating in midair. That was Janet's reality. The Enfield poltergeist case drew massive media attention, with reporters and paranormal investigators flocking to the house on Green Street. Voices claiming to be a deceased former resident were recorded, objects moved inexplicably, and photographs captured Janet seemingly possessed by an unseen force. Some dismissed the case as a hoax orchestrated by attention-seeking children, but many investigators, including the renowned paranormal researchers Ed and Lorraine Warren, believed the Hodgson family was genuinely tormented by something sinister. To this day, the Enfield poltergeist case remains one of the most well-documented and unsettling accounts of poltergeist activity ever recorded. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading down south to Adams, Tennessee, where legend has it, a vengeful spirit known as the Bell Witch wreaked havoc on the Bell family in the early 1800s. This ain't your typical ghost story, folks. The Bell Witch was the real deal, a malevolent entity that plagued John Bell and his family for years. It all started with strange noises in the dead of night, animals behaving erratically, and an overall sense of unease, but things escalated quickly. The Bell Witch, you see, had a penchant for physical assault. Family members reported being slapped, pinched, and even having their hair pulled by unseen hands. The entity, identifying itself as Kate, tormented John Bell relentlessly, eventually driving him to his death, or so the story goes. What makes the Bell Witch legend so terrifying is its specificity and the sheer maliciousness of the entity involved. It wasn't just about spooky noises and flickering lights, it was about targeted harassment and physical harm. The Bell Witch story has become a staple of Southern folklore, a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between the living and the dead can be terrifyingly thin. Chapter 4. The Myrtles Plantation. Get ready for a dose of Southern Gothic horror as we venture into the heart of Louisiana to explore the haunting tales of the Myrtles Plantation. This grand old mansion, steeped in history and tragedy, is said to be one of the most haunted places in America. Built in 1796, the Myrtles Plantation has seen its fair share of darkness. From tales of star-crossed lovers to rumors of slave uprisings, the grounds are saturated in a palpable sense of sorrow and unrest. Visitors and residents have reported countless paranormal encounters, from the apparition of a former slave named Chloe, who is said to roam the grounds in a green turban, to the ghostly figure of a young girl, seen playing near the infamous Mirror Room. One of the most chilling aspects of the Myrtles Plantation is the sheer number of ghost sightings and paranormal occurrences reported. It's as if the walls themselves are imbued with the energy of its tragic past, a constant reminder of the darkness that lingers beneath its picturesque facade. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the eerie atmosphere that envelops the Myrtles Plantation. Chapter 5. The Winchester Mystery House. Fasten your seatbelts because we're about to enter a world of architectural oddities and restless spirits at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This sprawling mansion, with its twisting corridors, staircases leading to nowhere, and doors that open to blank walls, is as fascinating as it is eerie. The story goes that Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, believed she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. On the advice of a medium, she began construction on the house in 1886 and never stopped, adding rooms, towers, and bizarre features until her death in 1922. The Winchester Mystery House is like a labyrinth designed to confuse and disorient both the living and the dead. It's said that Sarah Winchester's constant construction was an attempt to appease the spirits and prevent them from settling down. Visitors and staff have reported a wide range of paranormal activity, from disembodied footsteps and slamming doors to the apparition of a shadowy figure pushing a wheelbarrow. Some say it's Sarah Winchester herself, still wandering the halls of her never-ending creation. Whether you're intrigued by the bizarre architecture or drawn to the tales of restless spirits, the Winchester Mystery House is a place that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about reality. Chapter 6. The Eastern State Penitentiary. Get ready to enter a realm of confinement and despair as we explore the haunted halls of the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This former prison, once a symbol of innovative but brutal penal practices, is now a chilling reminder of the human capacity for both cruelty and suffering. Built in 1829, Eastern State Penitentiary was designed to inspire penitence and reform through solitary confinement. Prisoners lived in silence, their only contact with the outside world being a small skylight meant to represent the eye of God. The prison's harsh conditions and psychological torment took their toll on the inmates, and it's no surprise that many believe their anguish lingers within the walls. Today, Eastern State Penitentiary stands as a museum and a chilling testament to its troubled past. Visitors and staff have reported countless paranormal encounters, from shadowy figures lurking in cell blocks to disembodied voices whispering from empty corridors. One of the most well-known reports is that of Silky, a shadowy figure said to dart through the prison's cell blocks. Some believe Silky is the spirit of a former inmate, driven mad by the isolation and despair of solitary confinement. Whether you're a history buff, a paranormal enthusiast, or simply looking for a truly unsettling experience, the Eastern State Penitentiary is a must-see, or perhaps must-avoid, destination. Chapter 7. The Stanley Hotel. Pack your bags, we're heading to the breathtaking and allegedly haunted Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. This grand hotel, perched atop a hill overlooking the Rocky Mountains, is more than just a pretty face. It's a place where inspiration and terror collide. Built in 1909, the Stanley Hotel has a long and storied history, but it was Stephen King's stay in room 217 that cemented its place in pop culture history. King, inspired by the hotel's eerie atmosphere and his own vivid nightmares, penned the iconic horror novel The Shining, forever linking the Stanley Hotel with the stuff of nightmares. But the Stanley Hotel's haunted reputation predates King's visit. Guests and staff have reported countless paranormal encounters, from the ghostly sounds of children playing in the hallways to the apparitions of former staff members still going about their duties. One of the most frequently reported encounters is that of Flora Stanley, wife of the hotel's founder. Guests have claimed to hear her playing the piano in the dead of night, her ghostly melodies echoing through the empty halls. Whether you're a horror aficionado, a paranormal enthusiast, or simply looking for a unique and unforgettable getaway, the Stanley Hotel is a destination that will stay with you long after you've checked out. Chapter 8. All aboard! We're setting sail on a journey into the heart of maritime mystery as we explore the legendary hauntings of the RMS Queen Mary, permanently docked in Long Beach, California. This majestic ocean liner, once a symbol of luxury and grandeur, now holds a more sinister reputation as one of the most haunted ships in the world. Launched in 1934, the Queen Mary has witnessed its fair share of history. From its days as a troop transport ship during World War II to its glamorous post-war years as a transatlantic passenger liner. But beneath its opulent facade lies a darker side, a history marked by accidents, tragedies, and unexplained phenomena. Over the years, passengers and crew members have reported a wide range of paranormal activity, from the apparitions of former passengers roaming the decks to the disembodied voices echoing through the ship's corridors. One of the most well-known hauntings is that of Grumpy, a sailor who is said to have died in the ship's engine room. Visitors have reported seeing his shadowy figure lurking near the engine room, his presence often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature. Another frequently reported encounter is that of the White Lady, a young woman in a white evening gown who is said to roam the first-class pool area. Some believe she is the spirit of a passenger who died in a tragic accident. Chapter 9. Hold on to your heads, because we're stepping back in time to explore the Tower of London, a fortress steeped in history, intrigue, and more than a few restless spirits. This iconic landmark, located on the banks of the River Thames, has served as a royal palace, a treasury, and yes, even a prison over its 1,000-year history. With a past as rich and turbulent as the Tower of London's, it's no surprise that it's become a hotbed of paranormal activity. Within its imposing walls, countless souls met their demise, their fates forever intertwined with the tower's grim legacy. One of the most famous apparitions said to haunt the tower is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. Beheaded in 1536 on charges of treason, adultery, and incest, Anne's ghostly figure has been spotted near the Queen's house and the chapel where she spent her final days. Another frequently reported apparition is that of the two young princes, Edward V and Richard of Shrewsbury, Duke of York. The princes, declared illegitimate heirs to the throne, were imprisoned in the tower by their uncle, Richard III, and never seen again. Their ghostly figures, often seen holding hands, are said to appear near the bloody tower, where they were last seen alive. The Tower of London stands as a chilling reminder that some places are so deeply marked by history and tragedy that the line between the past and present can become terrifyingly blurred. Chapter 10. Last, but certainly not least, we arrive at our final destination, a place that needs little introduction in the world of the paranormal, the ancient Ram Inn in Gloucestershire, England. Buckle up, because this one's a doozy. This unassuming inn, with its crooked walls and low-beamed ceilings, might seem quaint at first glance, but don't let its charming exterior fool you. Beneath its surface lies a dark and unsettling history dating back to the 12th century. Built in 1145, the ancient Ram Inn has served many purposes over the centuries, but it's its reputation as a paranormal hotspot that truly sets it apart. From its alleged connections to pagan rituals and witchcraft, to its history as a resting place for weary travelers, some of whom never checked out, the ancient Ram Inn has become synonymous with all things eerie and unexplained. Guests have reported a wide range of paranormal phenomena, from disembodied voices and cold spots to full-bodied apparitions and even physical assaults. The inn's most infamous room, known as the Bishop's Room, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a high-ranking clergyman who met an untimely end within its walls. Another active spot is the Witch's Room, where legend has it a woman accused of witchcraft sought refuge before being captured and burned at the stake. Her restless spirit is said to haunt the room, her cries of anguish echoing through the centuries. The ancient Ram Inn is not for the faint of heart, but for those brave enough to venture inside. It offers a glimpse into a world where history and the paranormal collide in a truly unforgettable way. Alright, so there you have it, folks, the top 10 most scariest ghost encounters. Did I miss any? Let me know in the comments below. Just kidding, please don't. I don't want to know. Honestly, after diving headfirst into all that creepy stuff, I need a nap. And maybe a hug. From haunted houses to possessed objects, we've covered it all, exploring the dark underbelly of the paranormal and the terrifying tales that keep us up at night. But hey, who am I kidding? I love this stuff. Until next time, stay spooky. Or, don't. Actually, just try to stay safe out there. You never know what's lurking in the shadows.